Responsible to put that out there? Not really, no.
No,
Maybe
I totally
clippings
get.
of it, but even to just to listen to the stuff that he says is just, it makes me cringe.
Yeah, no, makes you shiver. I do get that. Do you think there is still good in him? Absolutely not. No, there is no good in him at all. Just reading that. When you wrote to him, did you? Yeah, I did send pictures of myself.
Did you send pictures and a message, or did you just send pictures to try and see, okay, like he can see what I look like to try and get maybe his attention, or?
No, I sent him. I'd never used the smart communications or whatever it's called. I'd never used that before, and to be honest, I actually didn't think he would even accept it. But he actually did the day that I'd sent it. I think it was like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours later, he had accepted it, and he actually messaged me first, and I then obviously replied to him. 2, 3 messages later, he asked for my number, and obviously I don't have an American number because I'm in England, and I made a Skype number, and he then called me on that Skype number, and then I sent him messages, and I think he got them the next day because I remember talking to him, and it was quite late at night my time, and he then got my pictures the next day.
And did he like, was he a pest about pictures, or was he chilled about pictures?
He did ask for pictures, and then when he got them, he was like obviously very sweet, very charming, and complimentary about the pictures. And then he was asking for more pictures in that way of not just normal pictures, but I was like, they won't go through, and I didn't want to send pictures like that. I don't even think they'd go through. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, did he ask you for money? No, he honestly never ever asked me for money at all. If he did, I'd never have sent it, but he actually never asked me for anything in any type of way.
Um, is he aware that he has fans? Of course, there has been, he knows by the amount of people that are just trying to reach out to him, you know?
Yeah, he definitely knows. When I look back and I think of the one phone call that we had, the first phone call after his trial, so the first one after he's recommended the penalty, I was talking about his lawyer that was falling asleep, and he was like, people have contacted me telling me about how he was falling asleep and how he's such a joke. And then he was like, and I've been told I've gone global. Obviously, that was the other conversation that made me stop contact. But he knew what was going on the outside. He knew what was being posted on TikTok. He literally knows everything.
Yeah, and I can imagine that there's people who talk to him and they really kind of really feel feed his ego a lot, because there was one point in the conversation that I heard where he kept repeating things that people he had spoken to had said to him, and he was like, oh yeah, they're calling me like Manson, the lit sexy Manson, and just things like that, and it just obviously feeding his ego so much, and obviously he's thriving off it. He loves it.
Yeah, he referred to me that he was a joker. This was when I was over in the States. And I remember I had one conversation with him on the phone, and he was like, you know the Joker? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, every time you see the Joker, think of me, because that's me. I was like, okay. How
Oh
old am
wow.
I? I'm 32. Someone just asked how old I am. How did he react to ending contact? He didn't really get a way to react because I didn't do any. Didn't really get a way to react because I didn't do any. Didn't really get a way to react because I didn't do any. I literally just went on the smart communication or whatever it's called, and you can just do the remove contact, and he was removed. I gave no explanation, so he couldn't send me a message or anything, but he did try calling, but I've never ever answered his calls since that day.
And I imagine because you are probably one of the very few people who have disconnected from him, that because that's taken away all of his control and power, that probably drove him crazy.
Oh yeah, he'd have hated it. He would have literally hated that I just literally stopped it and he had no way of controlling that
Yeah.
or contacting me. That would have drove him crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is insane. I just wish so many other women. I know we're never going to put a stop to people contacting him. Like in a million lifetimes, he's going to have so many pen pals. And then, like we've discussed, it's going to be so much easier for people to get in touch with him when he actually lands in prison because they can just jump on his thing and they don't have to have approval. He's always going to have like a bus. One comes, one goes, one comes, one goes.
Yeah.
But they just don't know. They're not seeing what he has done and who he is. They're just seeing this, the way he looks, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't know. They've got so much like that. We're just trying to save them heartache and financial damage, basically, because that is all he wants, is to just use people.
Yeah, definitely. Because I thought about this. There's going to be people that are contacting him that aren't even using TikTok, that haven't seen what's posted about him, and women coming forward saying everything and posting everything about him. So there is going to be women that are in contact with him that have no clue about what's being posted and probably have kept secret that they're talking to him and are completely unaware that he is saying the same things to everyone and who else he's talking to. Because I have to admit, he does come up. If I hadn't have seen the proof of that he's talking to other people, he does really go on about it. One of his words are, they aren't posting me because they aren't talking to me and you have nothing to worry about. He even said, I'm a faithful guy. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Faithful to his bullshit.
That, exactly.